Hello beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchi. On this channel I share cake business tips. Now let me ask you, how easy or difficult was it for you choosing the name of your cake business? If you already have a cake business name, you must or you definitely would agree with me that choosing the name for your cake business is not one of the easiest things to do when it comes to starting a cake business or running your cake business. Now in today's video I'll be sharing tips with you or things that you need to know in choosing a name for your cake business. If you're starting out your business, you're new in this business, you've not gotten a name, and you are thinking of how to go about it, or you've been trying but you're not coming up with anything, any idea, then you want to stick around because I'll be sharing some tips that will be useful to you. Do not go anywhere, I'll be right back. You're welcome back. So like I said, today we are looking at how to choose a name for your cake business, and I'll be sharing with you 5 things that you need to do or 5 things that you need to know. The first thing being this: if you know that you have a long-term plan, you are thinking of, or you have plans of growing, scaling, diversifying in future, that is some years after you want to begin to do other things, then you don't want to get a name that is too niched. Is it too niched? You don't want to get a name that is too restrictive. Yes, that's the word I want to use. You don't want to get a name that would restrict you from growing, from diversifying, from scaling your business, and from trying out other things. Okay, so I know that abroad there are some businesses, like I see them on Instagram. You see something like Carol's Cupcakes. Now you go to their page and you see that it's just cupcakes and cupcakes alone. I think such people must have decided that this is what they do. Probably they do not have the inspiration, the vision for doing big cakes. They prefer to do petite, mini, small cakes like cupcakes. They want to do small things, and so they have decided to put that as their business name. So if this is not your plan, if this is not what you're looking at, you have intentions of growing in the future, or you don't just want to be all about cakes, or you do not want to be all about cupcakes, or in the long run you know that you definitely will want to do other things, then you should leave opportunity, or you should leave space for this, where you can easily do some other things without having to change your name, without having to probably think of how to drop it and then re-register another name, or look for another name that people will not begin to know you by. So it is good, even if you do not have any clear plans or vision at the moment, get a name that will not restrict you, get a name that will not hold you locked in, but at the same time you want to get things that a name that will be all encompassing, a name, something like food, something that would still relate to your business, something that will still relate to cakes, or you being a bakery, or letting people know that you actually do cakes, or this is what you do. There are tons and tons of ideas online that you can check to get this sort of ideas or this sort of name. So that is the first thing that you should do. Don't get a name that would restrict you and will not let you grow in the future. Okay, get a name that would allow you, if you decide you want to diversify your business, you want to begin to do events planning, events coordination, and maybe food business consulting, you want to do other things, you can still do them without having to blink, without having to change your name and all of this. I believe that this is clear. The second point is this: you want to make the name sweet, short, and memorable. Okay, it's not like having a long name is an offense, but I mean, the easier it is for people to remember the name, the better for you. Okay, the sweeter it is, the how concise it is would help you. It will help people remember your name off the top of their head. So imagine that you have a name that is very long, say Oluchi's Cakes, Sweet Confections and Bridal Company. It's very, very long. Even if you have a long name like that and you've registered, you want to get a short form that people can easily remember with when it comes to the online space, online platform, especially when it comes to social media. Okay, nobody has time to be searching for long names online. Nobody has time to be looking for long names on Google. So get something that is short, sweet, concise, straight to the point, memorable. When the people remember it, it just sticks. Okay, a name that just sticks and people can easily remember you. It would help you with brand visibility as well. Okay, so long names are fun, long names are fine. Maybe you do a lot of things and you're trying to put them sweet, stable confectionery event decor company. It's very long. It's very long. So look for a short form that would be all encompassing, as in that you can put everything that you do in. People can see your name and then know that this is what you do. But most importantly, they can remember that this is the name your business goes by. Okay. The third thing when choosing the name is that it should represent what you do. It should represent your personality. It should represent your values. It should tell people what you do. It should represent your skills. So for example, I know people that have names that has designs in them. There are people with names that have, like, there's a name and then there is design, there's a name and then there is craft, there is name, and it just shows what they do. When you look at their name, you just immediately relate with what they do. Okay, choose a name that people can easily relate you with. All right, so when they look at it, maybe it's your craft that stands you out, maybe that's your USP, it's your uniqueness, that's what stands you out, your craft, or that you're a buttercream guru, you do cakes with impeccable designs, or they are really impeccably neat, or it's your customer service or timeliness. Look for names that would reflect this. And also in doing this, say for example, your name, one of your values is excellence. Like at I Bake Cake Signatures, one of my values is excellence. Okay, so if excellence is one of your values, you might want to put that in your name, or put that across as a message. Not that you say Oluchi's excellence cakes. Okay, you can look for a better way to put it by getting a synonym of excellent that you can put together with your name. Some people are family oriented, they love their family so much, or some people love their children so much, or some people are in this cake business so that they can raise income to take care of their family, and so they put the names, the short form of the names of their children together to form a meaningful word, and then they put another word to it. So you can do that, choose the names of your children, and then look for a synonym to represent what you want. Probably it's excellence, or maybe integrity, or maybe love, or maybe weddings, luxury wedding cakes, or destination, whatever it is that represents you, your personalities, your values, the things you stand for, the things your business stands for. You can use that also as a name. So make a list. Like when I was looking for a name, I had a long list of names. I had a long list of names, but it wasn't just helping me, because the more I wrote, the more confused I got. I was searching online as well. Not too much of searching, because the way I got my name was pretty unique. I didn't even think too much of it, and I kept it somewhere. It was later when I was looking for a name, when I had written and I was exhausted, I was tired, I was just going here and there and not getting inspiration. I found this group that I had kept it was a group. I found that I named one group back then, I Bake Cake, like it was my group. I formed it with a baker. We wanted to be able to help ourselves share ideas as we're starting our baking journey. So I named that group. That was what I named that group then. So I just realized when I saw that name again, I just, it clicked and it just came to me that, wow, this name is unique. You can use this name. And of the truth, it was a unique name. So I just took it and ran with it. So that was how I came up with I Bake Cake. But then when I had to register my business name, they will give you options of words that you can add to your name, like signatures or enterprise, and there's a third one. I think, if I remember, I'll put it on the screen if there is. If I research and I find that there is, I'll put it on the screen. So I could have been I Bake Cake Enterprise, or I Bake Cake Signatures, or I Bake Cake something else. All right, so I just went for signatures. Okay, so they would give you that option when you go to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission. That's the CAC, that's the body that registers businesses in Nigeria, business names in Nigeria. They would let you know this. So that was how I came up with I Bake Cake Signatures. So choose things that represent you and that represent your values, the things that you love. Of course, the customers are important. It's important to choose something short that you will remember, something that they can easily remember. But at the same time, you don't want to be looking at your business name. You don't want to hear it. People call you and you're like, you're not comfortable. You don't like the name. You're not happy with the name. So sit down and think. Sit down and do your research. Sit down and think through before you settle for a name, because you're going to be using that name for a while, except maybe you along the line you want to change it, you want to change the name, you want to rebrand or something. But choose something that you can use for a good period of years, for a good number of time, and that you will not cringe when you hear it. When you hear it, it gives you pure joy. It just fills your heart with joy. Okay, that is one thing that you should do when you are looking or choosing a name for your cake business. Number 4 is to ensure that you spell it correctly. Now, I know that people want to maybe stand out from the crowd, funky-size their names. I hope that this is a word. They want to make their names different. Like I saw someone yesterday, I saw a page yesterday on Instagram, and the name had crazy in it. I think it was something crazy cakes. No, not cool crazy cakes. It had that name, and to just depict that word, that act, what the word actually is or what it stands for. The name, usually you write your names from left to right, right? Okay, this name was written from right to left, and also it was flipped. I don't know what app the person used, the baker used to do that. So the name is upside down, literally. Instead of you to look at the name and see it, you might have to bend your head. It's like you're bending your head to read, and then it's like you're reading this way. You know, it's just twisted. Okay, so if you're going to search for a name like that on Google will not bring out the name twisted. Google will not bring out the name bent. If you're searching for that name on Instagram, Google will not realize that is what you're trying, or this is who you actually are. So you don't want to confuse your audience, you don't want to confuse your customers, and you don't want to hurt the visibility of your brand. So it is good, it's important that you spell it and you spell it right. Okay, I know that some people have issues with wanting to keep their names and not wanting to have troubles or issues with people that have similar names, and so maybe instead of writing cakes in their cake business name with an S, they write it with a Z. It's going to help or reduce the chances of your being visible, because nobody goes on Google or Instagram to start searching for a particular baker or a particular business name, and instead of writing so and so cakes, they write Z. All right, so you want to slim down your chances of not being seen. Okay, so choose a name that is easy to remember. Choose a name that is properly spelled. Don't misspell your name. Don't misspell your name. Don't funky-size it so much. Don't try to make it so unique that in it you lose the essence of the name, you lose the visibility for the name. Okay, so I was going to use this analogy, but I didn't remember. Something that can help you, something that can greatly help you, is remembering or thinking of when parents want to name a child. Like in this part of the world, people tend to name children, their babies or unborn children, before they come out of the womb. They try to choose names that will reflect sometimes the circumstances surrounding the birth of the child, or maybe they've waited a while trying to conceive and they couldn't, and they finally did. You have names like that would help remind them of how precious the child is to them, or how long they waited and have now finally God has blessed them, or they now have a child. You have them given names of what they want the children to be in future, of the future, the envisage, or the vision they have for the children, or how great they want them to be in life after now, or after the baby stage, when they grow. So you see names that are associated with greatness, you see names that are associated with favor, you see names that are associated with happiness. These are the things you should look out for. You as a parent, you have this child. You as the owner of a business, you can be likened to a parent who is giving birth to a child, okay, who has a child, and you're looking for what to name this business. What do you have? What is the vision that you have for your business in the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Where do you see your business? That will give you an idea of what to name your business. So the circumstances surrounding it, or what you want to be known for, this is what you should think of when you want to name your business. Like here in Nigeria, it's commonly done, especially with the native names. Okay, so you have people like saying Chukwebuka, like God is great. You have people naming their children Ayomiku, like my joy is full. I hope I'm right, my Yoruba subscribers. So you have my joy is full, my joy is now full. Things that depict what the circumstances surrounding the birth of the child or the arrival of the baby. So this is what you want to think of. Think of you as a parent that wants to name your business, that wants to name this child. Okay, that would help you greatly in choosing the right name, or a name that will be nice and will fit perfectly for your business. The fifth thing you should do is that you should do a name check. Now, when I wanted to register my business, the barrister that helped me then do a name search that was in 2015. When he heard the name or saw the name, was like, oh, this one is unique. I'm not sure anybody would have taken this name. Okay, so we searched, and thankfully the name was still available. So that was how I registered the name. Okay, but now there's an option of you registering in person, so you can just do it online. So you can search online, but while you're searching with the CAC, that's the body, like I mentioned, that registers business names in Nigeria, you also want to do your search online on Instagram, on Facebook. You want to check Google, so that especially within your locality and within your country, you don't have people using the same name as you. First of all, you're trying to avoid a case of mistaken identity. When people want to buy I bake cakes from I bake cake, they are seeing like 3 I bake cakes. They're seeing I bake cake underscore I bake cake, probably ng. They're seeing I bake cake underscore I bake cake hyphen or dash, and they're confused. So you do not want a case of mistaken identities. When a case of mistaken identity, when people want to order a cake from you, they know it is you. There is no issue with that. So check online, especially when you're registering your username, when you're registering or when you're signing up for your accounts, that there's no case of mistaken identity. I've seen it happen. It's real. So people want to buy a cake from baker A and they go to baker B because the names are similar. You do not want this to happen. So look for how to differentiate your names and then choose a name that is unique and solely unique to you. And also you want to avoid this thing of having to have used a name for like 6 months, 7 months, 1 year, and then you're ready to register your business name and you go to the Corporate Affairs Commission if you're in Nigeria and you're hearing that the name is not available. It's just going to stress you having to go back to your audience to let them know, oh, we no longer go by this name, we now go by this name. We wanted to register. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen live and direct. People wanted to register and they find after months, after years of using like a year of using their name, they went to the CAC, wanted to register as a corporate entity, and the name was not available. And people already know them by that name. So imagine me going by the name I Bake Cake Signatures, and then I'm ready to register maybe after like 6-9 months, and I go to the CAC and I hear that the name is not available. Meanwhile, people already know me by that name. I know it's not a big deal, but you know how it feels like having to change a name that people already know me as Oluchi, and I come tomorrow and I say that my name is now Ngozi or my name is now Nkechi. It's not going to be very easy for people to adjust. Of course they will, but I mean, you can just save yourself that stress and you can just save yourself having to go through that process, especially when it's a name that is dear to you, a name that you've printed on you've branded, you've put on aprons, you've printed stickers, you've done a lot of things. So it's important to get these things right from the get-go. Ensure that it's a name that it's available, somebody else is not using it, and then you can now go ahead with branding. You register it and then you can now go ahead with branding. A name that you love, sometimes you've spent hours, days, weeks, months searching for a name, you get it, you don't register it as soon as you can, and then when you are ready, some months after or so after a period of time, you get that it's not available. It's really painful. I know how painful it can be. At least I've spoken to some bakers who have experienced this. So you do not want that to happen. Try and avoid this by search for the name before you go ahead with branding, doing other things, and then try to register as soon as you can. Okay, it also helps give you a professional front. Okay, so you register, you have a business account that you can use for payments. Not that when people want to pay, you're giving them your personal account. It helps people take you seriously as well. Okay, so it depends on your locality, in your country. Know the body that is in charge for registering businesses, and then do the right thing. Do due diligence to search for your name. Do your search online. Be sure that nobody is dragging in quote the name with you. Nobody else is using it, so avoid case of mistaken identity, and then you can go with it. Okay, I believe that these tips have been able to help you with choosing a name for your business. So write them down as it comes to your mind. Write them down. Search online. Search again and again. Write them down, and then pick one that suits you. You can also check with friends. If you're married, you can check with your husband. If you have a best friend, you can check with them. You can check with people that are close to you. Run it by them. What do you think about this name? What do you think about this? How does this sound? How does this look? Does it represent me? Does it represent my business? What do you think? Is it okay for me to go with it? Ask for people's opinions, okay? And then when they advise you, you can go with it. Thank you so much for sticking with me all through. If this video has been helpful to you, do not forget to like and to drop me a kind comment. And also, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, okay? I would love to hear from you. If you have questions, also ask below. I know that people have asked, 1 or 2 persons have asked me, or a few persons have asked me to make videos on business name registration in Nigeria. When I did mine, someone did it for me. It was not like now. It's not like now. It wasn't like now where you can do it online. So I would do my research and find out if I can get real good information on how to do this done, then I'll get this across to you. Please let me know if this is something that you'd be interested in, okay, and I would work on making it available to you. All right, until I see you in the next video, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.